Happy Unify Gathering 2021 on the faction. You can't go to Unify this year, so we are bringing it to you all weekend. You're going to hear the bands that you saw live at Unify. We'll dig up some archived interviews. We'll play you some live sets. We'll also get those bands on to chat and reminisce those times performing at Unify. This man's band played, I believe, twice at Unify. If I've missed one, he will correct me in a second. Talking to Bryant. He sings/screams for Perth band Saviour. Bryant, thank you for speaking to the faction today.
No worries. Thanks for having me on, David. And you were correct. We've been lucky enough to hit Unified twice, actually.
So how young was the band when you played that first show?
To be fair, we just came back from a bit of a hiatus, so it was... I couldn't even tell you the year, but all I remember is that first one. I drove over from Perth for it, and by the time I got there after a few days, I was a bit out of legs, so most of that Unify was spent sleeping for me, unfortunately.
Did you get to enjoy it a little bit more a few years later?
A couple of years later, definitely was, a bit more fun, but look, it was one of those ones that... a lot of my memories from Unified have been a bit intoxicated and can't remember them probably about 50% of the time. What
was your drink of choice?
Oh, look, whatever they were hitting us on the riders, which wasn't too much, actually. They sort of gave us a couple hours to get into the beers, and by the time you came back from the beers are gone. A few thirsty boys at the back of the Unified tent. So,
Name and shame them. Name and shame, Bryant. Who were the thirsty boys?
I couldn't. I don't know. I think we were. Can't even remember who we were near at the time, but you know they were getting some glaring eyes from us, definitely.
When you took the stage at Unify both of those times, did you take a moment to process the crowd and process your surroundings?
Yeah, definitely. It's a real good view up there. That's probably the best view of the house from on stage, watching everyone else. So definitely we got a bit of a good time both years, a bit of a sunset sort of vibe, so it was quite serene. Does look good in photos. I don't remember too much of it, obviously. Have a few beers to kill the nerves on the way up. And
if you're a Perth boy, how does the Unify sunset compare to, say, Scarborough?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, just as good, mate.
Can you give me an update on 2021 for Saviour? I know everything is TBC right now, but some positive news would be awesome.
We actually had a show. You know, I live in Melbourne these days, so I haven't actually seen my band members since November 2019. It's been real sad, actually, for us.
Yeah.
What's going on is we're trying to book some shows, had to cancel a bunch of more shows because of the border sort of lockouts. But as soon as, people start touring again, we're going to do the same thing. And we've got a whole bunch of new music up our sleeves, which we've been working on in this sort of times where you can't do much else. We've actually been writing some tunes, which is awesome. We've got some real good tunes after sitting at home for all this time.
So the main message there is, while it's been a quiet 12 months for Saviour, it is definitely not the end. In 2021, we can hopefully expect to see you boys back.
Oh, you'll definitely see us back. Absolutely.
Thank you for speaking to the faction today, Bryant, and reminiscing some of your sleepy and less sober memories of Unify.